Hey y'all, welcome to Sweet Tea and Butterflies. Today we are making a couple of, I think 3 DIYs that are part of the December Just Our Imagination challenge. So our hosts are Kathy, Joe, and Brenda, and I happen to have been chosen as a co-host. We had to take 3 different items, challenge items, to make DIYs with. One of them was a balloon, and this was my first thought process. Talk about, this was an epic fail. We were supposed, pardon me, we were supposed to incorporate a balloon in there, and I was going to do like a hot air balloon, using, what is it called? My words are gone again. Paper mache. Now, I should have done this in tore off smaller pieces to start this with, and I didn't. But with paper mache, you've got several layers, and you have to let it dry in between layers. Well, I did the first layer, and I decided I'll let it dry overnight, and then the next day I'll go in and put on another layer on. Well, my balloon deflated overnight, and let me tell you, I had been sick over Thanksgiving weekend, and blowing up this balloon was a challenge for me. I decided I was not going to attempt it again at that time. So here shortly you'll see that, you'll see the epic fail in there. I did pivot and went with a different idea, well, sort of a different idea or a different concept on the idea that didn't work out great either, but I had to improvise. I did the best I could. So, and it's been kind of a long week this week. It's been a rough week. My son got attacked by somebody, that he used to know. She stabbed him. So I was having some definite mama issues at that particular point. And just, I wasn't even sure I was going to get these videos done. He is okay. He is at home in pain, but doing well. And then last night, while I was trying to finish all this up, we had some really severe storms coming through Middle Tennessee area. And there were several tornadoes, thankfully not around me. We did have some serious storms though. Now, as you can see, I showed you where the balloon had deflated and whatnot, and I was just like, that's it, I'm done, I'm over it. So I decided to take a styrofoam ball and slide this balloon over the top of the ball. That was a little bit of a struggle too. I had to cut it down some more. But I found that my concept for the basket for the balloon and this particular styrofoam ball were not very proportionate to one another. I picked up some bigger styrofoam balls, and I couldn't get the balloon over them. So I improvised. I went with what I had. One of the other challenge items was a K-cup. So I'm implementing that here, making the basket for the hot air balloon. I just took and it was kind of a time-consuming process. I don't think I make you watch the whole thing. I don't know. I might. If I did, I apologize. I just took twine and went round and round and round the bottom and then all the way around the K-cup. If you like the content that we're putting out, please click the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so that you get notified every time we upload a new video. We'd also appreciate it if you'd like, comment, and share. It helps our channel grow. We enjoy bringing videos, showing us making different items, and I particularly enjoy these challenges. While a lot of times the projects don't come out as stellar as I would like, I enjoy the challenge of working with something that you normally wouldn't think to work with or incorporate into a craft project. It just kind of, it wakes up the brain waves and the creativity and gets the juices flowing, and it's really kind of fun to see what what you can come up with these items, the challenge items that they put forth. I can't wait to see what the other ladies do either. That's going to be an interesting watching and seeing what the other ladies happen to come up with. But I guess I did make you watch me do the whole thing. I apologize. This was a long process. It takes a little bit of time. It's time consuming. But it turns out, the basket itself turns out really cute. When you're working with hot glue like this, where you have to kind of hold it down, hold something down once you've glued it, it's a really smart thing to wear finger protectors. Keeps you from getting burned with the hot glue. But as you can see, I'm almost done there. I can't believe that I left the whole thing in here. Again, my apologies. It's I kind of, I guess, was sitting there watching Christmas movies and crafting, so. Oh, okay, I didn't leave all of it in there. I cut it off at some point. Left more of it in there than I intended to. So then what I did was I took a piece of this fabric to line the inside of the basket with. I just trimmed it off and then proceeded to kind of maneuver it and hot glue it down. I kind of pleated it as I was going around around the edge there. I decided to take just a little bit of jute and go around the top to cover up the edges where I had pleated that and glued it down. And it also will help it help hold it together. So our challenge, our imagination challenge, is hosted by Kathy Jo DIYs and Brenda at Rustic and Lace DIY. As I said before, I'm a co-host. All the links to Kathy Jo and Rustic and Lace will be in the description box, as well as the playlist for the whole challenge. There's a lot of very creative, lovely ladies that have joined in these challenges, and it just makes it really fun. Kathy Jo is a hoot. Check out all their videos. Make sure you like and subscribe. These ladies, just their imaginations are just amazing. So please go check out the rest of the playlist and have a little bit of fun. Just grab you some hot chocolate and curl up in your chair or on the couch or wherever you're most comfortable and have a little bit of a watch party. So as you can see here, I'm trying to get the quote-unquote balloon in place. I got this far and I was just like, I just don't even know what to do with it. So I set it aside after I got this part done, and it sat there for several days before I kind of came up with another idea for at least trying to make it look a little more proportionate. It no longer looks like a Christmas hot air balloon like I had intended it to do, but I think it turned out kind of cute anyway. It was just, this one was a hot mess. This is what I get for waiting till I'm challenged to try new techniques. You know, I haven't done the paper mache stuff before, so that was my first attempt at it, and it didn't come out great. I think I probably could have pulled it together and been okay if the balloon hadn't deflated, and I was just like, nah, I'm not even trying to blow up a balloon again. I had a upper respiratory infection over the weekend, the Thanksgiving weekend, and I started this that weekend, and it was not easy to blow up the balloon, so I just shifted gears and went with something else. I think it still turned out kind of cute. I wouldn't call it a hot air balloon anymore, but I don't know what you would call it. Chime in below and tell me what you think I should call it. It's just an interesting little piece that you can put on your tier tray, but yeah, I'd like to hear your ideas on what I should call it, because it doesn't fit the hot air balloon description anymore. So let me know. I was gonna try to put this candy cane on there, but it didn't quite, it was a little bit too big, and this was already very disproportionate. So I took a little bit of red glitter ribbon and took it around the top edge there to kind of glam it up a little bit, cutesy it up. Here I'm trying to get rid of some of the little fuzzies on there, because jute twine is rather fibrous and fuzzy, so I just burned some of that off of there. So now I decided it still needed a little something else, so I took one of these little picks here with some berries and mini pine cones. I think they're pit berries and mini pine cones, and tucked it up underneath that ribbon there, and just kind of maneuvered the cones and berries around, and decided to call it done at that point. I think it turned out, it's cute. It's kind of cute. I just don't know what the heck to call it now. So any ideas would be absolutely wonderful. It is a good size to fit on a tier tray, so there's that. I live in a tiny house, so I'm kind of obsessed with the tiered tray decor, because I really don't have room for a tree and all that, so I get to decorate my tiered tray for the holidays and seasons. So I decided to do a second project with the K-Cups. When the challenge items came out, and I'm the one that picked the K-Cups, much to everybody else's dismay, the hot air balloon was not my original idea or intent for the K-Cups at that point. So it was just an added bonus of a second K-Cup craft in there. My original idea was for to make some bells using the K-Cups. And somewhere halfway through doing all these projects, I had another idea for a K-Cup craft. I didn't put it in this video. I may implement, pull out the stuff and implement doing that for another video another time. But here I'm just pouncing on some white chalk paint. I wanted some texture in there, so that's why I pounced it on. And because when I painted the gold over it, it showed some of that texturing in there. But I didn't want to paint with the acrylic paint on the K-Cup itself without putting chalk paint or something on there, because the K-Cups are a slick plastic, so the acrylic paint just kind of slides on there, and then, you know, it can get kind of messy and not necessarily turn out the best. So I did a base of the chalk paint first because it adheres better, and then went over it with the gold here. And I didn't make you watch me paint both of the K-Cups. I did do 2 coats. I think I did 2 coats of the white and then 2 coats of the gold. And here I'm using the jute twine again, and I'm just kind of trying to build up the top of the bell. I just, with these projects and everything that I had going on this past week, I was trying to work with what I had and not go out and buy more stuff. So I used the twine to and brought it around, and glued it, and just kind of tapered it in as I was going, so that it kind of had like the top shape of the bell, if that makes any sense. Not the optimal results that I was looking for, but it worked. It worked, and they're cute. They turned out really cute, and I don't think I made you watch me do both bells with the twine either, because again, I think this one was more time consuming than wrapping the whole cup, because I had to kind of graduate it in as I was going around. We would love it if you'd follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. We also have our own craft group chat on our website. We would love it if you come join us there as well and share some of your creative ideas, creations, all of that. We really enjoy collaborating and just kind of enjoying other people's creativity as well. So we'd love to see you join us there and follow us on the other social media platforms. So often you hear me say, that we would like to have you join us on our group page and whatnot. I have a business partner that crafts with me. While we each craft, and oftentimes we can get together and craft together. Hopefully I can get her, we can start getting together more often, and I can film her creating too, or at least get her in the thought pattern of, hey, I'm gonna sit down and craft, record it, so that you can see what she's up to too, because we're very we're best friends. We're very similar in a lot of things, but we each have totally different crafting styles and ideas. She comes up with some really great ideas. I'm one that I enjoy this kind of crafting, where I take and build something, versus while we do offer cups and t-shirts and stuff like that, this is where I shine. This is where my creative juices get flowing, is creating pretty much from scratch, as far as taking different elements and putting them together, rather than just taking like a t-shirt or a cup and putting a decal on it, or doing something simple. I don't mind doing some of the simple stuff either. There's several of our projects that we've done, that I've done, that are simple, where I just take and kind of revamp a little mini sign and put a different saying in it, or a different look to it. But I really enjoy being challenged to actually build something, you know, to create something from several elements that you wouldn't normally think to create from. So that's why I love these challenges. So I decided to put some of the same little mini pine cones and pit berries on these as well. Just to kind of give them a little bit of character. I had forgotten to go and do something with the bottom, so I realized I had skipped that step. So I went back with a little bit of twine to go around the bottom edge of the bell, kind of give it a cleaner, more finished look. Would have been easier if I had done this part before I did the other, where I had the put the twine between the two. But we got there. We got what we needed. I'm hoping to have another episode of the Crafting with the Grands to upload soon. This time of year I get together with my granddaughters and we make their gifts for their mom and dad, and for stepdad and stepmom. So hopefully in the next week or so I'll have another episode of the Crafting with the Grands on here while we get together, and they each get to make gifts for mom, dad, and step-parents. I just think that seems, for me, a handmade gift holds so much more value and so much more meaning this time of year. And the girls absolutely love crafting with me, so hopefully we'll be able to get that done. So I took some red velvet ribbon here and made a couple of little bows to go right above those pine cones and pit berries. Lord, my words are leaving me. I just, I keep losing them. I'm terrible with trying to do these voiceovers because I just totally lose track of what I wanted to say, or lose the words, or whatever. If you'd have told my mother when I was a child that I'd ever have difficulty talking, she'd have told you you were crazy. Because her favorite phrase was, "I bet you can't be quiet for 5 minutes." I was a talker when I was a kid, for sure. And my youngest granddaughter is too. I get a kick out of watching her, though, because her whole body is animated with whatever she's saying. She doesn't just talk. She animates. So, I get tickled every time. I just love to watch her sit there and talk because, you know, her whole face, her whole body, everything. It's just so entertaining. So I just basically created for these little bows. I created a loop and then just wrapped ribbon around the middle. I didn't want anything too fancy or too big or whatever. I just wanted to keep it simple. And also I needed to cover up the little stem part of those where I glued them on there. So now on to DIY number 3. This is where I use the foam curler. That was one of the other challenge items. So this one I kind of had an idea what I was going to do. Pretty much, you know, right after she announced the different challenge items that we had to use. So I went and pounced some white paint around a tea light, a battery operated tea light. Now I am going to say that this one did not come out exactly how I was hoping for either. My thought process on this with using the tea light was that once I put that, you know, painted the foam roller and put it on the top, that I could put that little Christmas light in the top of it, and the light would kind of travel up through it and make it look like it's glowing. No, not so much. It didn't work that way. But hey, it was kind of a cute idea anyway. And here I'm just taking a little strip from those flexible cutting boards from last month's project. I saved the little strips I cut off of there thinking, I might, you know, they make good little handles and stuff like that. So I saved them. And I painted it gold as well. I painted the tea light and that gold. I had to wait for the white paint to dry on the tea light before I could go over it with the gold. And here I'm using the Waverly Crimson to paint the curler. And this is one of the little foam curlers that come on the little snap, you know, where you snap them in. And I just removed that part and used the foam itself. I did 2 coats of the crimson on here. So I painted all around this with the red, and then I painted the top of it with this as well. And I think I did that off camera because I realized after I got done putting the 2 coats on this part, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't paint the top. So I just went through and painted it real quick. And here's where I'm painting the gold on the tea light. And because I dabbed the white chalk paint on here like I did on the bells, it gives a little bit of texture. You can't see it, the texture in the video and whatnot, but in person you can see it, and it looks, you know, kind of makes it look kind of old and weathered. here is where I'm putting a little handle on here. The first couple attempts it kept popping off, so I held it in place on the top while I glued the bottom, and it seemed to hold after that. I think I was just getting impatient and moving too fast before the glue fully set. So here I just got, and then I popped that roller on there, put a little bit of glue in the top, pop that little Christmas bulb in there, and there you go. As I'm looking at it now, as an afterthought, I probably should have put some of those little berries and stuff, pine cones and berries on this too. I might go back and do that. But here's the final reveal with all of the projects together. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.